Okay, quick mic check. I don't normally do the streaming here for Senior Racing Club, so I'm popping on. It's jittering because the game isn't in focus. What can I do to make it in focus? It's a interesting one. Chat's going to be busy tonight with Mr. Pocock in the chat. Quick mic check. I don't normally do the streaming here for Senior Racing Club, so I'm popping on. It's jittering because the game isn't in focus. What can I do to make it in focus?
I can hear you on the stream, Mr. Newton.
It's a interesting one. Chat's going to be busy tonight with Mr. Pocock in the chat.
Hello.
Mic check. I don't normally do the streaming here. Senior Racing Club, so I'm popping on. It's jittering because the game isn't in focus.
I can hear you on the stream, Mr. Newton.
Interesting one. Chat's going to be busy tonight. Okay. Have I fixed myself repeating? Have I? I found it. I've got an erroneous YouTube tab open. I think that's fixed it. Okay. I'm new at this, so you will have to just bear with me while I find my way through the tools. I managed to do it once before. Obviously, it was a fluke. Turns out it was just repeating to myself, Mr. Pocock, in my own ears, which was handy. I'm not sure if it was repeating to you guys. It was like a bad echo. So let's have a look what we've got. Free practice is just coming to an end now. He's waiting. Who's going to be first out the pits for practice? But we still have car 38 on the track. Let's have a look who that is. So we're 1 minute 43 away from practice starting for split one. Oh, here we go. No, it jumped it to the start. Perfect. Right, who's going to be first out then? This session has ended. I'm going to have to go press some buttons on it. Let's have a look who got first out. It's 196 at the front of the queue. Ah, well, Mr. Pocock, you didn't tell me how to change the resolution from 720. So you've got what you've got now. Because we're in, right, 15 minutes of qualifying has just begun. We've got Wolfsliner out at the start of the pack. A definite contender for pole. Newtland's, he's knocked himself up to Neutlings. He's got out second behind Wolfsliner, and then Mr. Christopher third. Well, I don't keep stuttering. Maybe the stream keeps stuttering, but I don't keep stuttering. I think it's because we've turned it up to 50 frames a second, 60 frames a second, and my computer doesn't like it. Neither with my internet in my house. So let's follow in with. Let's jump on board. Potential pole lap with. It is too late. Oh dear. Right. Okay. So this is so difficult when you're on your own, talking to yourself and obviously the people in the comments. So Pete's going to catch up with a back marker on this lap. So this might spoil his lap, but we'll see. We'll see. I think there's a rule in e-seniors that says you don't have to get out of the way in qualifying. But he has let him through. Nicely done there, nicely done there. Let's have a look which car that was. That was 969. So that was nicely done by Howells. And letting the faster car through. Heading up into the chicane. Mounts it neatly done. Now this is one of my more favourite areas of the track. You come round this corner here, then you head downhill. Downhill braking, this is incredibly difficult to hit your points. Done perfectly there. Let's have a look what sort of time we're going to be heading towards. This is going to be a quick one, 1:43 maybe. A 1:42.5. So let's see how they all stack up now. Mr. Christopher has come across the line, 1.1 seconds behind. Mr. Bailey, 1.9. I don't know how to jump back seconds in time, guys. But let's watch some of these guys for a minute. Got Mr. Christopher there, PWS liveried car. I think he'll be disappointed to be 1.1 seconds off the pace. But I'm not so sure as he's a contender. Younger's just popped in a 43.4, so Wolfsliner at the moment is really pumping those times in. Let's have a look on the map, see what we've got, see who's where. So we have a whole gaggle coming across the line next. Here come all the times. Bosh, 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 bosh. So let's have a look at the movers and the shakers. So as we're looking at it now, Mr. Christopher is a second, just over a second up on this lap to improve. This will give him enough to jump towards the front of the grid. Let's see if he can maintain it. Somebody's just come off in front of him. It's another one of the PWS cars. I think that's Gerard. Just made a mistake. Mark is still managing to be 0.9 up. This is going to jump him towards the front of the pack. There we go. 9 minutes to go. The pace is now 42.5, 42.5, 42.8. Bourne popping in with the 43 flat. So, Hartman is up. Provisional poleman is 0.3 up on his fastest currently, which will take him towards a 42 flat. Let's see how he does down here, see if he can hit the braking zone. He's got traffic in front of him. Traffic hasn't slowed him up yet. He's still 0.2 up. It's looking messy in front, guys. 0.3 up. This is going to take him nearly to a 42 flat. 42.2. It's a nice gap out the front. We have Bourne next in line to improve. Bourne is 0.4 up. Bourne jumps Christopher. Of Neutlins, currently 0.2 up. This would just give him enough at this point to jump Christopher. Let's have a look. Not quite, not quite. 1/10 of a second off jumping Christopher there. So, run down with 7 minutes to go. We've got Hartman from Wolfschleiner, from Bourne, from Christopher, Neutlins, Hellstrom, Gerard, Hutchin, Young. Young's just made a place up there. Mark, Morris, Baker, Larson, Bailey, Howells, Holmes, Dont. We've got Trowbridge, Rodriguez, Bywater, Larson and Howard. I'm fairly certain that some of those at the back are sandbagging at the moment. I know that Bywater's got some more pace. And the Terry train is not going to have many behind him that far back. Terry would normally be a bit further up. From 20th, will we see a 141? Wow. Not this lap. Unfortunately, not this lap. So, movers on the track at the moment. We've got Holmes is just where are we? Gerard, 0.3 up. This would give Gerard enough to jump to just behind Christopher if he can maintain it. He's now 0.5 up. Gerard continues to gain as the lap goes on. Currently 0.6 up. This will give him enough to jump to 4th. Good lap by Gerard into the 42s now. So, next mover, we've got our Mark. Just improved by 10th. Let's go further back. Okay, Evans. He's only 4.7 seconds up, 4.8 seconds up on his fastest time so far. This should jump him. Jump him up. "29 cars on track. 28 cars set a time. Currently following Evans here, who's going to improve by whopping 4.8 seconds. Okay, and then I will jump to the front two guys here because we've been in, they've got fresh tyres. We have Hartman on a fast lap. We have Wolfschleiner on a fast lap. He's up currently. Is he up enough to jump pole? No, not quite. Equalled his fastest time, but there's traffic. There's traffic, so this is one of the difficult things. As you can see by the track map, this is pretty busy with 29 cars on track. Really difficult to find that space. With 3 minutes to go, I think if you're gonna do a lap, now's the time to do it. Going down a few statistics here. The fastest man down the straight is currently Hartman. He's AMG 261. He's 2 kilometers an hour faster than Musliner. The slowest car down the straight is, let's have a look here, is the Aston Martin. No, is the Porsche. So 253. So 8 kilometers an hour difference between the two. Right, Hartman's on it. This is it for a lap from Hartman. 0.2 of a second up. 3 minutes to go. He might just break into the 41s. He lost a tenth in that corner. He's now losing up this straight. Losing. Is he going to recover any time? He had a good braking. Regained over a tenth and a half in that braking zone. He's now currently sat just over 1/10 up. Gets a good exit here. Might just break the 141s. It's going to be close. Not quite. A 42 dead. 142 dead. Half a second up from Bushline, who's also on a lap. Wow, he's on a lap. He's currently half a second up. So in the last 1 minute 30, we have a genuine battle for pole position. Wolfschleiner is currently sitting just over half a second up, which is enough to snatch pole position. Can he maintain it? He is going to get one more try. He will get one more try if he keeps his tyres in. He's lost a little bit of time, but he's still on to improve. He's currently gaining, but it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough for pole position. 42.3. Bourne is out to improve. Bourne is on a lap. At the moment, he's currently 2/10 up. If he can maintain this, he will nearly jump Sliner to second place. No, and he's lost time there. Okay, so moves and shakers. Neutlins, 0.3 up. This would give him enough to jump to third. So let's just stick with him. See if he can maintain this gap, as this is the final laps for those that are still out. Bourne has finished, can't improve. Neutlins is currently on a lap good enough to give him 5th place if he can maintain this pace. He needs to finish this lap. Let's have a look as it goes across the line. It's gaining. Every little bit that he gains down this straight is going to push him up the field. It is that tight. This should be enough for 5th place. 6th, displacing Mark Christopher. So, I don't know how to do fancy grid walks and all of that nonsense. So I'm just going to put the times up. If it'll let me. Oh no, it won't. So let's have a look. Let's come across here. I'll press the wrong button. Let's have a look at the timetable. There we go. That is a timetable for everybody to see. We've got Hartman, 0.2 of a second behind Wolfsliner. We've then got Bourne, Gerard, Hellstrom, Neutlins, Christopher, Young, Hutcham, Nemeth, Holmes. It's the second break, so 1 second separates the top 11. Then we've got our Mark, Morris, Dont, Rodriguez, Trowbridge, Baker, Bailey, Larson, Bywater, Howard, Howells, Innes, Trapp, Scheiter, pushed, Larson, Rudolph and Evans. Every car setting a time, so that is good. Although I don't know how to get past that, so we'll find that out in a second. Ah, there we go. That's probably a better way of doing it. So, I wonder how much longer we've got left. I think the time is set for a couple of minutes. We'll get rid of the... Right, let's go to the front. Let's sit it on Helicam. This is your grid as they are lined up. When they start rolling, I'll swap into Okay, let's have a look what we've got here. So 38 seconds to go, 30 seconds to go. These guys are going to have to make sure that they click drive in the game.
30 seconds.
That's a 30 seconds warning. You see some of the cars drop down.
20 seconds.
Let's see if these guys can get a nice clean first lap. I was on last night for the split 2 guys and they managed to have a completely clean first lap. I'll try and do my very best. Okay. So you'll see them doing some warming up of tyres. Bit bunching as they go down the pack. It's looking quite menacing from behind. 29 GT3 cars ready to race. As they approach the lights, we are looking for a green. And in the words of Murray Walker, we are, when they hit that line, go, go, go. Just as I get handed my dinner, as all the exciting stuff happens. So, nicely done around the first corner. No change in the front order. We'll drop back a little bit through the field. Looks like it's sorting itself out nicely. Everybody's behaving themselves. We'll head back. So Hartmann's managed to get away from Wolfschleiner. We're not Bourne, Gerard, Hallstrom, Neutlings, Christopher. Hello to everybody on the chat. We have a move there. Gerard taking a look at Bourne. It's all very close. This is give Hartmann a chance to escape and leg it out front. Gerard is vulnerable here from Hallstrom. This little battle here is very, very tightly packed together. Let's have a battle here. Let's get this on cam. Are the boys brave enough to go 3 wide? Nemeth, Young and Mark all fighting for the same piece of tarmac. We also have Holmes, Dons and Morris. Oh, that was, let's do a little replay back. I think that's Rodriguez. Oh, look, my staction's wrong. Rubbish. So, it's Morris making a move on Rodriguez. We just made a mistake attempting a pass on Dom. Let's head up a bit further back up the field. We have Neutlings, Hallstrom and Christopher in a battle. 4th, 5th. This is looking tasty here. Try not to miss the action. Young is going to have a look at Nemeth. That Bentley doesn't half look menacing. It's like twice the size of that McLaren. But a really nice, safe car. Incredibly fast in the right hands. heading back to this battle. Oh, wonder what happened then.
Big window is open.
Christopher just having a look at the back of that pack. Obviously the Honda have got some pace. Let's go a little bit backwards to this battle. Oh, I think we missed somebody jumping the curb then. Let's see if I've got my settings right. Let's see if I can do this. Let's have a look at who made the mistake. Big jump of the curb there, riding on board with Howard. As Howard heads up to the chicane. Just doesn't make the second half of the chicane. Loses 2 places in one swift move. This battle continues between Nemeth and Young. If I was interested on the stream, my wife brought me a side by side. Close and fair. Is Young going to have to run up this next straight? No, he hasn't. He's had to fall behind. So for those interested, my wife brought me a nice sausage sandwich. So I'm enjoying a sausage sandwich whilst enjoying the stream. On this incredibly close battle here. I do think Young has probably got a faster car underneath him here. And he's probably being held up a little bit by Nemeth now. We'll go to the heli cam for a better view. What a move. Can he get it stopped? Yes, he can. That was nicely done. So we'll keep an eye on the back of Young now. Catching the back of this the Gerard train. I think strategy is going to fall into this a little bit as time goes on. There's a pit stop for the guys to have. So somebody who's stuck in a group, we talked about this quite a lot last night. Somebody who's stuck in a group of cars like this where they can't overtake, heading in for a pit stop is often a good strategy. So that was weird. My headset just turned itself off. You'll have to let me know if it stays off. So we're nearly 20 minutes done to run down. We've seen nothing of Hartman out front. Hartman is out there. He is 2.8 seconds up the road. We've then got Will Schleiner in second, 2.8 seconds behind. We've got Bourne in third. We've then got the Gerard train. He's got behind him Neutlins, Hallstrom at the back of this group. Christopher in the Honda. We then have catching them like wildfire, lapping about a second a lap faster at this moment in time. He's Young. We then have Nemeth and the McLaren with Holmes now all over him. I have a feeling that I think the tyres have gone on that McLaren because Nemeth is getting swallowed up by all of the faster cars behind him. So we'll just let this sit for a second. We'll just watch this battle before we continue down the field. I think we have some action here. I think we have Howard and Trapp. Didn't quite keep his foot in for that. And what we got back here? More excitement. So considering we're 20 minutes in, the majority of the field isn't too far spread out. There's still lots of battles on the track. That was a successful move. Alright, let's head back up here to the Gerard train. I think there's been a mistake by Hellstrom. Christopher's just passed him. So let's just go back and watch that overtake. Nicely lined up with the Honda. Bit more top speed than the BMW. Doesn't make it there, but forces him into a mistake. He went too deep, leaving himself open for the second part. That looks nicely set up. Hi, Christopher. You'll enjoy me giving him a little bit of coverage on the stream in the PWS car, your friendly pressure washer company. Check us out at www.pwsce.co.uk. Right, now Mark's got all this work to do. Christopher's got all this work to do. He has Hellstrom and Young. Remember, Young was some 4 or 5 seconds behind this pack. Young has probably got enough pace to run with the leaders. I think he qualified a little bit out of position. Okay, should we have a pit stopper? Hellstrom is going for the pits. This leaves Christopher wide open to an attack from Young. We'll keep an eye on this. I don't think it'll be very long before Young is with him. In fact, I swap away. I think he's already there. Wow, Younger's got some pace. Although he's not quite lapping as fast as the leaders. That last lap, our leader Hartman just banged in a 42.4. With these guys lapping him the 145 for Christopher this lap. 143 for Young. I don't think he's going to be able to do enough in that Honda to hold him behind. This battle is also bubbling. We'll try and manage the two. So it looks to me like the Hondas are just starting to fall off the pace a little bit. Hondas and McLarens are the mid-engine cars. The rear-engine cars, are, the front-engine rear-wheel drive cars really are coming into their own. Oh, there's been a mistake. Wolfsliner is off. Wolfsliner is off. What has happened there to our number 2 car? Let's watch this back on the helicam. He's currently dropped to 7th place. Looks like an unthought error. This is very uncharacteristic. Oh, in the kitty litter and round. Oh, and the wall. The wall for good measure. Wolfsliner will really be beating himself up about that. Really beating himself up. So, that gives us Hartman out front. Bourne second. Neutlings third. With Gerard now. Oh no. Neutlings was behind Gerard. So Neutlings has made that move happen. Young has also overtaken Christopher. Let's see if we can find the Young and Christopher overtake. See if oh, Christopher made a mistake. He cracked like a cream egg under the pressure there from Young. Okay. Let's head back to Pete. Wolfsliner back in 8th place. 9th place, our 10th place. He's now in the pits. So he must have damage. So what we need to do now is keep an eye on Wolfsliner's pace. It's nearly halfway. He won't be too disadvantaged by stopping at this point. But obviously the accident that he's had has put him so far down the field will make a difference. Let's have a look at the statistics of who has pitted where and who is doing what. So we now have only Morris and Hellstrom have pitted. You'll notice the green next to them on the timing screen. That shows who's completed a successful pit stop, so they have to go in again. At some point in the next 3 or 4 minutes, I'm expecting the group to come in. Gaps in the tower. Oh, okay. I've got the gaps in the tower, have I not? I turn them on and off as I go through because they take up quite a bit of the screen. So we're currently riding on board with Nemeth, who's managed to hold Holmes at bay, half a second back. Young's progress has slowed now as he's catching the front runners. As you know, we've been following him around quite a bit in this race. Where he's making like a second a lap or so, but now he's getting towards the front, and the difference he's making each lap is like 0.1, 0.2 of a second. He just isn't doing enough, but if he has a good stop, a podium could definitely be on the cards for him. He managed to do half a second that lap on Gerard. Now, if I was Holmes and I felt I was being held up, I'd be in the pits and try and jump this guy. Let's see if he takes any of the advice. Not they can hear me, of course, but you know, commentator advice. Oh, that was getting tasty down there. Now that McLaren's tyres are a little mistake there from Nemeth. It's definitely being held up now. I would definitely pit. I would not hold my race up. You have to play for the bigger picture in these games. Has he got enough? Has he got enough? No, and he dropped out of it. That was close, that was. Just riding on board with Holmes here in the Bentley. Well, we've got a stop and go coming on. I haven't seen that one come up yet on my screen. As we talked about yesterday, we don't shame our drivers for bad driving, but we will shame you on the stream if you get a stop-go penalty for things like track limits or speeding in the pit lane, etc. So, I don't think he's going to be able to do that for a lap or two now, although he's faster. We have a little battle developing back here with Bailey. And a little battle back here with Howard. This is Howard in the Aston Martin on track in the Honda. Oh, look at me. What's gone on here? I thought I'd missed a move. No, I haven't. Somebody coming in the pits. That's okay. So, Holmes finally listened to the commentators and did the right thing, got in the pits. So let's keep an eye on the map. And we've got Holmes was racing 712, which was Nemeth. Right, so 712 is there. Let's drop on board with Nemeth, and let's see if he decides to come and do a pit stop. And let's see if Holmes. Now I'm going to switch mine to statistics, which talks about pit stops. So we know yesterday that a pit stop round here was about 1 minute 17 with a stop time of about 31 seconds if you got it right. Looking at Holmes's stop, he's managed it in a 36-second total stop with a 1 minute 18. That has put him in front of Pete, according to my chart here. Holmes, let's have a look there. Nemeth has not come into the pit, so we'll keep an eye on that one. We have this little battle developing here. So Pete in the Honda, trying to make his way back through the field. Now this is painful. I've just noticed that that is first place. At the start of this is first place. So this is yet to stop. We have an overtake brewing here. Honda just has superior straight line speed to the Bentley. Moves to the inside but thinks better of it. Bit of a poor exit from the Bentley midway through. There's enough momentum, but not enough room. So I won't overtake there. That was well left. The best opportunity to overtake. Small contact then. Very small contact. Uncharacteristic there from Wolfschleiner. Just caught the back of the Bentley in the middle of that. So, one of the better spots to overtake is up here. Nice run through here. Lovely section down here. I love the way that you have to pull down through the gears for this. And then head off up the hill. So this is it. This is the move. Clumsy exit then from Holmes. But I don't think that's cost him any time with his actual battle with Nemeth later on. Probably the best thing Holmes can do here is sit on the back of that Honda and let him be towed around. That would be a smart move. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's buffering it. I don't think it's my PC. I need to spend. I never use it for this type of thing, so I probably need to spend more time optimizing it for this type of thing. We'll have a look to see if there's any extra settings that I can press to make it any better. Let's turn that bad boy off. See if that makes a difference. Close that. Right. Back up to the front. Young, while we've been watching the battles elsewhere, has got his foot in and is currently sat up on the podium over the back of Neutlings with some traffic. So let's see how that traffic plays into this battle for second place. Bit of a driver's eye view here. Head down the hill, get on the brakes, try not to overrun. Neutling's just overcooked it. Bentley on Bentley. Oh, Neutling's has dived into the pit. Smart move. That's freed Young up now. He'll get the tow. He'll get the slipstream, and we also have the leader in the pits as well. Let's follow the leader in the pits. See what sort of pit stop he has. He's currently been stopped for half of his time in the pits. 8 more seconds to go. 5. And he's gone incredibly fast stop there. 33 seconds stationary time. And off out he goes in 4th place. So I'll lead a Hartman now. So he's out in 6th place. Looking at this. So what have I missed? There we go. Now it's updated. I thought it was 4th place. So our leader is obviously the fastest car out. He's got an 18-second gap over Neutlings. Oh, what have I just missed? Have I just missed something? Let's hit and find out what went on here. I see, everybody came into the pits at the same time. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what went on there, okay. So, back to the action. I should say back to the replay. This is where I watched the position swap. It confused me a little bit. So now the game has settled a little bit. We have Hartman from Bourne, Neutlings from Gerard, Christopher. Hartman is 56 seconds behind the leader, with a pit stop being 1 minute 18 total time. That gives Hartman the net lead. Bourne will be net second if he remains at this pace. Neutlings will be net third. And if Gerard, they'll come out roughly about the same time as Gerard. So let's see what Young decides to do. Holmes also jumped Nemeth in that battle. So they were both racing against each other. Holmes did the smart thing, got in the pits early. Has managed to jump him by 4 seconds, I think that is. Nope, just jumped him by 1 car, about 2 seconds. So that was tasty. Okay, we now have Baker in the pits. So let's jump on board with Hartman. Watch him regain second place. And we'll see where Baker comes out. He's just coming around to stop. Baker is still stationary, so he's going to lose that spot to Bourne. He's going to lose that spot to Neutlings. He's going to lose that spot to Gerard, as he's just started rolling. Is this going to be close with Christopher? It's not going to be close with Christopher. It's not going to be close with Wolfschleiner. Very close with Holmes either. So Baker is out just as Nemeth in this battle comes round. Side by side, nicely done by Nemeth. Made the most of catching him napping on his new tyres. Okay, back to the front. So Young is now currently, well, he's still currently out front. Gerard is doing enough at this moment in time, just enough for Young to come out in front of him. You have a little battle here for 11th, 12th and 13th. Baker's tyres are just not quite up to pressure yet, leaving him under pressure from Larson. If he doesn't get a move on, I think Larson's going to mug him. That Porsche is slow down the straight, so I wouldn't be surprised. So Gerard has just lost some time on this lap. Gerard has had a bad lap. Not sure what happened there, but he's currently giving himself 4 He's left himself a 4-second disadvantage on that lap, doing a 1:47. So I'm not sure what happened to Gerard, but that means if Young pits now, he will come out in front of Gerard and behind Neutlings. Here we go for the move. Side by side. Porsche has the inside. Nicely done by Lawson there. Get in, mate. That was tasty. I like that. No unforced errors. Nothing at all. Just a nice overtake. Mano oh mano. Right. Oh, but he goes and makes a mistake. Just as I'm bigging him up. Makes a mistake and leaves the door. Oh, okay. So, don't wait in the middle of the track. I think Mr. Baker is going to do the right thing and wait. He's doing the right thing by heading off up the track for Mr. Larson. I think I'm going to go back and take a look at that. So we have this is the series of events that unfolded. We have the fantastic overtake here by get this right, by Mr. Larson on Mr. Baker in the Porsche. Mr. Larson then makes a mistake coming out of here. He needed to stay further left if he wanted to defend the inside. He left that door open, unfortunately, and the Porsche was always going to enter that closing gap. I would say that is definitely a racing incident. Can Wolf do a podium? Maybe. Maybe. I'll keep an eye on that in a second. Okay, so talking of Mr. Wolf. Mr. Wolf is all over the back of Mark Christopher. Bit of track limits there from the Wolfster. Heading out into no man's land. I'm not so sure it's the fastest track. This is Honda on Honda. Not quite sure what that says on the back wing of this car of Mark Christopher's. Let's remove that so we can have a look. Oh, it says PWS cleaning equipment. I believe their website is www.pwsce.co.uk. Shameless plug. So we're done there. The Honda is fast but not safe. I agree with me having a little bit of a break. Young is in the pits. Young is in the pits. So Young is just leaving the pits. So I missed that. So, as predicted, if Gerard lost that time, Young headed out. Oh, Christopher's made a mistake. Come on, Christopher. You definitely gave that up. Why are you hugging it? So far to the right. You just left the door wide open. And Mr. Wolf was like, I thank you very much, as he heads off down the road. So, we have Howard out front, yet to pits. Okay. Our actual leader in the 142.5s, Hartman, AMG Mercedes. We then have Bourne in the 142.8s in the Aston, in the Bentley, 18 seconds behind. We then have Neutlings, 3 seconds behind Bourne in the Bentley. We then have Young, now going like a scolded cat on some new tyres, 3 seconds behind. Gerard had that bad lap, cost himself a position, He'll be on his stream, beating himself up worse than any of us could about his mistake. What we got going on here? Then we have Wolfsliner. Was in second place, made a mistake, and it was a very uncharacteristic mistake. It's not very often we see Peter make these type of mistakes, but he made one and he hit the wall and he had to pit. We then got Christopher, I think in split one in the PWS car. I think this is a solid result for Christopher. I don't think he was going to hold Wolfsliner behind. I think he'll be happy to be in front of the people that are behind him. Then I've Holmes. It was as if he was listening to the commentator about pit stop strategy. He managed to jump 2 places in the pit stop. We then have Mark. He's come from nowhere in the Audi. This guy was not on the radar, wasn't sitting anywhere. He's run a solid race. Currently in the 43 sixes. Solid. Ran out the top 10. Nemeth. In the McLaren, I think he suffered with tyres in the first stint. I'm not sure if they were too hot or just gone off. Currently in the 44s. Heading backwards even further down the field. We have a little battle developing here between Howells and Hutchinson. Spoke too soon. Stop go 30 for Howard. Somebody get me the bell. We need to ring this bell of shame. Shame dong. Shame dong. Shame dong. Just like Game of Thrones. Because Mr. Howard has only gone and sped in the pit lane and got himself a stop go. Terrible. Okay. So there were no real battles. Let's see if we can make it into the pits this time for his stop go without another penalty. This is surely going to push him to the back of the pack. Of course, I turn the tower on and off, mate, so you can see the racing in all of its glory. Okay, so he's managed to get stopped. That is also by water in the pits. I think he's given it up as a bad job on lap 18. We have lost a few people. We've lost 4 people from the stream. That's always a shame when people drop out of a stream because their race isn't going very well, or something isn't happening the way they'd like it to happen. Okay, so is Howard out of the pits? Howard is on his way, heading out of the pits. His stop go 30 is cleared. Done and dusted. Come out in front of, however, Holmes. So that is a lapping car. He'll be getting blue flags to jump out of the way. We do have a little battle back here. 17th and 18th place between Howells and Hutchinson. It's been going on for a few laps now. Both popping in identical lap times. We're getting down into the last 5 or so minutes. So I don't think, for those on the stream that thought Wolf could make it into the top 3, With 5 minutes to go, I don't see that happening. It's not something I think that he's going to be able to do. Commanding racer Hartman out front. Bourne in second. This potentially could be where the battle is here. Young for the podium. Young was just over 1 second a lap faster last lap, punching in his best time so far of this race.